Solar Eclipse 2024 on 680 News Radio.
Well, it's exciting, isn't it? The great moment is at hand.
There's a little black spot on the sun today.
It's not really a little black spot because it's actually the moon. It's a big black spot. We're approaching near totality of the solar eclipse in the GTA.
We're going to head back to Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton for reaction at the viewing party there. They're getting very lucky with the weather. 680's Alex Bloomfield joins us live now. Alex. Okay, we're going to try and reconnect with Alex. This was one of the concerns coming in to covering the solar eclipse. There's a lot of demand right now on Wi-Fi, on lines. Alex, can you hear us?
Jana, I was just getting my glasses on, and we just had a big reaction here in the crowd as it's really gotten significantly darker here in the last minute over Tim Hortons Field, where there's probably about 4,000 folks in the stands here taking this all in. The mayor of Hamilton's behind me, Andrea Horvath, as well, watching this. And yes, it's about to get very dark. It feels like it's just twilight at the moment. That's just in the last minute here. And you can still, looking up through the glasses right now, see a sliver of the sun. So we're not quite there to the total eclipse at this point. Once we do get there, we'll be able to see a unique phenomenon with the corona around the edge, which you are unable to see at any other time except during a total eclipse, which is for around 3:18. So about a minute and a half away from that here in Hamilton. But when we should have a pretty clear sky for it. The sky is clearing out just at the last second here to take this moment in, really in the last half an hour leading up to this, providing a fantastic view here for the many that are in the crowd. And it looks like a similar case just down the road in Niagara. It just got significantly darker. I also feel the wind really cold in the last couple of few seconds here. That feels like 2 or 3 degrees cooler than we just have been experiencing. Still looking up, not quite at the total just yet, but certainly getting very close to it here as the shadows really start to come across the field. Looking up in the stands, everyone has their eyes fixed on the sky for this once-in-a-lifetime moment that be taking in across the region. You can hear the crowd get excited behind me as it gets very dark. Michelle Mackey is here with me as well. She's live with CityNews 24/7 this afternoon. Michelle, describe how you're experiencing this moment.
This is the best day of my life, and I recently got married, so I'm hoping that my husband isn't listening to the radio right now because this is remarkable. I've never seen anything like this.
It's unbelievable. If you look out on the horizon, it looks like a nighttime kind of horizon at the moment. As we get very close to it, looking at the sun right now, I cannot see almost anything, just a tiny glimpse. I don't think we're quite there yet, Michelle. What do you think? You got your glasses handy?
Okay, I don't have my glasses on, but I am looking around. I'm not looking up. It is getting dark. It is getting nearly black in Hamilton. Wow, and the skies, they've nearly cleared the cloud cover. I mean, this couldn't be better timing.
I don't see anything in my glasses now. We are very, very close to the peak of things here, 3:17, so we'll be seconds away from total eclipse time here in Hamilton. We're getting a big cheer from the crowd behind me. And honestly, the lights of the stadium here, it looks like a night game. It is like a night game here in the middle of the field. It might as well be a Ticats game at 8 p.m. at night. That is how dark it is at the moment. What an extraordinary phenomena experienced right across southern Ontario. You're looking up at the sky right now and you see just black with the glasses on. There's no longer anything there to take it in. This is going to last about 90 seconds, they said here in Hamilton specifically, so we're a few seconds into that now. We're in the midst of it. There's a red tinge glow. It looks like a sunset on the far horizon now, looking off to my west towards London. It actually looks like the sun is going to be setting in a couple of minutes, but the sun is directly overhead, just completely blocked out by the moon at the moment. For this once-in-a-lifetime thing, hasn't happened since 1979 in this part of the world, and it won't happen again officially in this area until after 2100. You can travel a bit in 20 years to see it maybe in the eastern U.S. But what a moment here in Hamilton. I'll throw it back to you guys, James and Slejana, maybe over to Momin.
Great work, Alex. You know, Slatty and I have often joked in the past about the day they turned the sun out, and today's the day.
Manifested it.
It's happening. It's really happening.
It doesn't matter that the sky is overcast. This is incredible. We thought we might not get the full effect because we had a very overcast sky, but 6 City's Momin Qureshi is at the York University Observatory, and he can also let us know that the science behind this incredible celestial occurrence is just the clouds did nothing to sort of dim this moment. Momin, are you there?
Yes, I am here, Sljana. I'm here with Professor Emeritus of Astronomy, Paul Delaney. Professor Delaney, we didn't get the cloud clearing that we want, but we still got to feel the effects. Walk us through what we're experiencing right now.
Well, it's definitely a lot cooler than it was earlier. In fact, our parking lot lights just came on, so that shows you how dark it got. Now, yes, we have cloud cover, but when you take away 99.7% of that solar irradiation, things do change around us, and the crowd here really can feel those subtle environmental changes. It's very neat.
Yeah, it's definitely much colder. I'm shivering a little bit. I'm sure a lot of people are kind of tightening up their jackets. But you had mentioned that this is just kind of part of the deal when you're chasing eclipses.
That's exactly right. I mean, as I said, the sun is that big ball of energy in the sky, and when you block almost all of it, 99.7% here, that's just turning off the heat. And it's going to recover over the next few minutes, but right now you can feel the environmental changes, the darkness, and it really is very neat.
I guess the lesson we're learning here is that it's not just about seeing eclipse. When you experience eclipse, you're experiencing kind of all the elements of it.
That's right, and that's what we've been trying to say to people for the last several days, several weeks. You've got to be out there experiencing it. It's not just the visuals, it's the perception. And even as we're talking to you, I'm beginning to see things brighten around us. So it's very, very quick. You don't need to have totality to realize that there is an eclipse in progress, but totality, that's the cream of it. That's the creme de la creme.
Yeah, you can actually hear the crowd kind of making noise because the sun is kind of coming back here.
That's right. Here comes the sun, so as to speak.
Thank you so much, Professor. There you have it, guys, from Professor Paul Delaney talking about the eclipse that we didn't get to see so much, but we definitely felt it here on the rooftop at York University. Reporting live, I'm Momin Qureshi.
Road to the White House.
Well, in what was their first and most likely only face-to-face showdown, VP Harris and former President Trump have now wrapped their debate at the National Constitution Center in Pennsylvania. It began with a handshake and has ended with now a star-studded endorsement from who and for who. Well, more on that in just a moment.
Now, Trump and Harris went back and forth on a whole range of topics: immigration, abortion, the economy, climate change. Tempers flared, you can bet they did. Let's go to Richard Southern now, who's been following along all night long. Richard.
Yeah, Mitch, it was exciting. Harris clearly was able to effectively get under Trump's skin, and by all accounts, according to the pundits, she easily won this debate. She did it by baiting Trump on issues like crowd size.
You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early.
She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go.
Trump also repeatedly struggled to answer pointed questions from the moderators like this on healthcare.
I had a choice to make. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, or do I let it rot?
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
He also repeated falsehoods like this claim that immigrants are eating pets.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food.
Whereas Harris came off as measured and presidential.
So I think you've heard tonight two very different visions for our country. One that is focused on the future, and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back.
Again, by all accounts, Harris won this. Even Brett Hume, a famous Fox News analyst, claiming the vice presidential candidate, easily came out on top today. But Harris's biggest victory perhaps came after the debate, when she won a key endorsement from Taylor Swift, who on our Instagram account said she was voting for Harris, calling her, quote, a steady-handed, gifted leader. Swift signing her post, Mitch Burke, with her name and, quote, childless cat lady. What a night.
Now, 680 News Radio. Need to know at noon continues.
And we are following breaking news for our top story, where Hurricane Milton has hit Category 5 status as it churns towards Florida.
And 680's Irene Preklet has been following this developing story. Now, Irene, where exactly is Milton on track to sort of hit at this point in the state of Florida?
Right now, Milton is about 1,000 kilometers away from the Tampa Bay region, Steve, and it is on a collision course with that region, which is home to more than 3 million people. The area has not had a direct hit from a hurricane in 100 years. It has sustained winds of 160 miles an hour. That now makes Milton a monster Category 5 hurricane. This is just the second one this year, the other barrel in July, only one last year and none in 2021.
And so, Irene, what are the major dangers ahead for people in the path of Milton, this monster storm?
Two big dangers here, Sarah. One, we just had Hurricane Helene, and there is still lots of debris in neighborhoods. So you're getting these winds, and that debris, if it's not cleaned up in time, becomes projectiles. The other big thing here is storm surge. Tampa Bay expected storm surge of up to 12 feet. If that happens, it will be a record breaker. So that is the big danger, is the wall of water heading towards Tampa. Reporting live, I'm Irene Preklet.
680 News Time, 12:31.
680 News Time, 9:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by Scotiabank. Airborne Chopper 680, Jordan Kerr.
A bit of a situation unfolding on the westbound 401 west of Bayview and the collectors. All lanes have been closed off because of a truck fire. So this transport truck is packed full of what looks like garbage. I can't tell what it is. They keep on opening the doors, spraying what's inside. Whatever it is, it's useless now. It's garbage at this point because it's all on fire. So it's packed super tightly in this transport truck, and firefighters are having a really tough time just getting to it because it's just packed full of stuff and it's all on fire in there. So there's smoke coming out the side and the back and the front of this transport truck. So a big mess here. Still see lots of smoke. No traffic can pass right now. Looks like another fire truck is coming up to help and see what's going on here. So right now, westbound 401 west of Bayview in the collectors, everything's blocked. No one can get by. If you're in the collectors, try and take that transfer approaching Bayview. It's jammed up on the westbound 401 Markham Express and collectors to west of Bayview. And again, all collector lanes are currently blocked off. On the eastbound 401, a new crash at Kennedy in the collectors. Two right lanes blocked off. It's jammed from Victoria Park in the collectors. And northbound on the DVP, problems north of Don Mills have cleared. Still busy for north of Bayview Bloor. From the traffic center, here's Craig Gear.
America Votes 2024 Projection Alert.
We have a major projection, our first one here of the morning. We go live to our Richard Southern with it. Richard.
Donald Trump projected to be the next president of the United States, guys, according to Fox News. Fox has called this election for Donald Trump, the first network to do so. It is a stunning political comeback for Donald Trump, who left Washington in disgrace after January 6, 4 years ago. He has now, according to Fox, been projected to win back the White House, becoming just the second president in U.S. history to serve two non-consecutive terms. This comes as NBC News. This comes as Wisconsin has also gone in Trump's favor. Wisconsin putting Trump over the edge, says Fox News. A stunning development here. The former president, now the president-elect, set to address his supporters in West Palm Beach, Florida, momentarily. We will carry it live. Fox News has called this election for Donald Trump, guys.
Thanks, Richard, and we'll certainly be keeping you up to tabs on this as we potentially are waiting on that speech from Donald Trump. And potentially other networks chiming in here with both of those state calls.
And with the call of Wisconsin from Fox News that has put Donald Trump over the top, the possibility does remain that Donald Trump could run the table of battleground states tonight. He did so first with North Carolina and Georgia. Pennsylvania is looking to be headed in that direction. And in fact, Fox was the first network to make that projection. They've just done so in Wisconsin. We're awaiting on other major networks to see what their call will be and what time it will happen. Again, Donald Trump, according to Fox News, will be the 47th president of the United States.
680 News Time, 8:34. Happening now on the Young University subway line. Another morning of delays after an earlier signal issue briefly shut down the entire line. 680's Kevin Meisner is talking to commuters at St. George Station and joins us live. Kevin.
Yeah, Catherine, this was a real mess for a while this morning, or as one TTC staffer kind of surreptitiously told me here at St. George Station, kind of a disaster as signal delays took down all of Line 1 of the subway. Now, staff here outside St. George Station doing their best to try to direct the confused subway riders.
Northbound shuttles to my left.
Dwayne is now woefully late for work. He needed to get up to Vaughan this morning, and this is the second time this week he's been affected by similar subway issues.
Oh, man, it's a lot. It's, when you work all day and then you're delayed in your travel as well, it kind of takes up a good part of your day. So how I feel, I'm just exhausted.
So this morning, signal problems did force the entire shutdown of all of Line 1 from Vaughan Mills down to Union and all the way back up the other side to Finch. Similar issues caused similar problems back on Monday as well. A lot of frustrated TTC riders trying to hail some rideshare here outside St. George as essentially things clear. We are told that the subway is running again, but there may be some delays. But by and large, the crowds outside of the subway stations have cleared. Reporting live at St. George Station, I'm Kevin Meisner.
Hey, look, the sun decided to show up this morning. And it's causing some delays, so bring the sunglasses. Southbound 404 DVP, busy south of Stouffville down towards 16th Avenue, south of Finch to south of Lawrence, and Don Mills, as you come around that corner, it's very, very bright, and that's why we're seeing a bit of a delay through Don Mills on the southbound DVP.
680 News Time, 5:32.
Breaking news this morning, it is the blue screen of death for millions of Microsoft users around the world, impacting banks, airlines, and even us here at 680 News Radio.
We're at Pearson Airport this morning where the delays are piling up, but we begin our coverage with 680's Jamie Pulfer here live with what we know so far. It's been a morning, Jamie.
Oh my gosh, Paul, what a way to start a Friday with a worldwide Microsoft outage. The full extent still unclear. What we do know is that it's affecting companies around the world, including banks, with some possible issues involving TD services here. We're still trying to track that down. Airlines also hit hard. That includes big ones stateside and in Europe, also India, where one man has posted a picture of his handwritten boarding pass on social media. Broadcasters also impacted. We are tap dancing here at 680 News Radio this morning. CBC has had issues. In the UK, Sky News was off the air completely. And this from NBC stateside.
We understand it's linked to CrowdStrike, which is a cybersecurity company. Many users experiencing this blue screen of death when using their computers. Apparently, we're hearing CrowdStrike was doing an update. It has come forth and say that they acknowledge the problem.
So CrowdStrike, the cybersecurity company contracted by Microsoft, that software update is now being rolled back. The problem, crashing Windows machines and servers, sending them into a loop of recovery so they won't restart, hence that blue screen of death that you're seeing. Now, according to Microsoft, the majority of services have been recovered, but still no details on when this outage could actually resolve. In the U.S., some emergency services are also affected, including 911 in Alaska. So far, it doesn't appear as if Toronto police are affected. Nothing for the rest of the GTA that we can tell, but we are still tracking all of that information. Reporting live and tracking this massive Microsoft outage, I'm Jamie Pulfer. 680 News Time, 5:34. So chaos at some airports around the world due to this Microsoft IT outage. 680's Carl Hansky is heading to Pearson this morning and joins us live with what's happening there. Carl.
Yeah, good morning, Laura. I'm just arriving at Terminal 3. I'm going to go inside and have a look, but I can see from the board there's some delayed flights already. We don't know if this is related to this IT situation, but it very well could be. American Airlines, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, all U.S.-based airlines had issued a global ground stop on all their flights because of this issue, so it's going to have a trickle effect here at Pearson. We'll go and have a look. We don't know if any Canadian airlines are affected at this moment, but if you're flying this morning or today and your flight's with United, Delta, or American, you may want to check your flight status because you likely have some issues either right here at Pearson or at wherever you're going to be headed to. Reporting live at Pearson's Terminal 3, I'm Carl Hansky.
Today marks 10 years since a gunman entered Parliament Hill and killed Corporal Nathan Cirillo, a 24-year-old honor guard stationed at the National War Memorial. And that day is forever etched in the minds of those who were there that day, and that includes 680's Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney. Now, he joins us live, and Cormac, you happen to be rather close to the front doors as the gunman entered Centre Block. Please tell us about your experience that day.
Yeah, it was caucus day, and I just finished interviewing the public safety minister, and I called my editor thinking I had a good story. But as I spoke to her, I heard someone yell gun, a loud boom that echoed through the marble and limestone hallways of Centre Block. I saw some people in front of me running away from the front doors with terror on their faces, and I turned to run as well before noticing a security officer reaching for his gun. I realized I was in between a good guy with a gun and a bad guy behind me opening fire, so I ducked down some stairs. There was a lot of confusion as gunshots continued to ring out, and a guard put me and someone else in a security office where I started going live, reporting for 680 on what was happening. That's where I was when the sergeant-at-arms and a team of officers approached the gunman and took him down in a hail of bullets. We weren't aware of the shooting at the War Memorial until a bit later, and we were stuck in a lockdown for hours on Parliament Hill as more details came to light, and I continued reporting. The next day, I was able to get my coat and equipment that I had left in the rotunda, and later that night noticed a bullet hole through the chair that I had been sitting on, and later found a bullet hole in the jacket that I had draped over that chair. So kind of chilling to think what could have happened if I didn't move.
It was pretty wild when we were listening to some of the audio of you that day, because you recorded, you could hear the panic, you could hear the concern, you could hear all the things that were happening, the gunshots, the echo, as you mentioned, just was really startling to hear. Now, in the wake of all of this, there's been a lot of reports now, there's been a lot of talk about security gaps on the Hill right now. A decade later, has anything changed there?
Yeah, a lot has changed. I mean, at the time, there were 3 different security teams policing the Hill, and none of them were communicating properly or sharing information in this major emergency event. We now have one parliamentary protective service, and there have been new security measures on the Hill, such as bollards around the entrances, security checks as a result of this incident. Yet still, there are questions about security. The convoy protest from a few years ago exposed more security gaps, and the RCMP's union is still arguing that the protective service doesn't have all the powers and resources needed to properly secure the Hill. So 10 years on, the debate over security continues as MPs try to strike that balance between access to the parliamentary building for Canadians and securing those who are on the Hill.
And that's 680's Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney.
They're the backyard burger moochers you really just want to buzz off. Yellow Jackets are back, but experts say they may not be as numerous as previous seasons. This summer's heavy rains and flooding may have destroyed a number of underground nests, cutting into the GTA population. Still, Jennifer here near Jarvis in Front has painful memories of previous stings, so she admits her reaction to wasps is not graceful.
I swat them, I get mad, I run, and then I cry.
And Colin simply cannot peacefully coexist with Yellow Jackets.
My experience isn't friendly. They come a lot. There's many of them. They really like the burger, and sometimes they force me inside.
Now, the bug experts say don't trap or kill wasps. They're still important pollinators, and they target nuisance pests in your backyard garden. Near Jarvis in Front, I'm Kevin Meisner.
This report is brought to you by Search Kings. Well, we figured out what's going on the southbound DVP.
The grass-cutting guys are back.
Yes, they are.
Guess who's back?
Oh, man.
Back up.
We just knew it had to be grass cutting. Got to keep those ticks under control. That was the excuse last summer for why they're cutting the grass so often. So southbound 404 DVP, south of Don Mills. That left lane is blocked off. This is a huge patch. They'll be here for quite a while. Southbound 404 DVP slow Elgin Mills to 16th, and then from Finch to south of Don Mills. And that's the reason why it's so slow. Northbound delays as well.
You're listening to 680 News Radio. A two-time Oscar winner wants to be called by her given name. 680's Eva Fragiscatos explains.
We know her as Emma Stone, but she's over it and wants to be called by her real name, Emily. In a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, she said when possible, she prefers to go by Emily. She said if a fan called her Emily instead of Emma, that would be so nice. Stone said people that she works with call her Emily when she gets to know them. The Poor Things star revealed she made her stage name Emma Stone only because Emily Stone was taken by another actress who was a member of SAG-AFTRA before her. But Stone is done with it, saying she freaked out a couple of years ago and said she just couldn't do Emma anymore. The actress says her co-star in her upcoming TV series The Curse just calls her Em. Sounds like the easiest option. I'm Eva Fragiscatos.
Okay, from now on, Pablo.
You're going to go by Pablo. That's
Paolo.
your Paolo. Yeah, I think Paolo
works. I need another syllable.
You know what? Paul Cook, Paolo Cucina. It sounds
something.
really good.
Yeah, as a kid, I got teased, right? What sound does a chicken make? Paul Cook. Right? So, Pablo.
They were really reaching for that one. I don't know.
Still ahead. Mike Apple with the business report in 60 seconds.
680 News Time, 725.
And if you've ever been put on hold, you probably know this one. I guess. Well, yeah, the city of Mississauga is looking to local musicians to replace their hold music. Applications are now open for Mississauga's Music 311 program. Hey, one more.
I like it.
It's very mysterious.
It's mysterious and moody. It's nice.
Hey, speaking of mysterious and moody, Chris McCusker is next.
680 News Time, 1125. 680 News Time, 1126.
It's time for the business report. Forget this business music. How about this one? Kind of like that, eh?
Now the business report with Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a real banger, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's a great song. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you get back to your business.
All right. So I'm watching shares in Robinhood, Steve. The stock is seeing a solid bounce today, up by about 8%, hitting a one-year high of $25.36. Oil is on track to snap a 5-day winning streak, down $3.67 to $73.46. So pulling back from a 6-week high. And then our loonie is down by 1/4 cent, 73.14 cents U.S. Now, coming up in moments, the Fed's looking for ways to improve the housing situation in this country. All those details straight ahead. In the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.